Oh shit, I forgot. Uh, let's try this again. Welcome to ARcast ARC with your boy Toon Link Main here, and today we're actually gonna do something real quick. So we're gonna talk about some NFL rule changes alongside with the touchback, the Hawkeye cam, proposed ban tush push, proposed 18 games, NFL taunting, and some other shenanigans that they really wanted to do something, including postseason overtime, as well as Ja Morant gun gesture celebration and the NFL and the NBA playoff races. So yeah, those are the main topics that we're gonna do. I don't know why I'm doing this early in the morning, even though I should have done this at Friday night instead. But I fell asleep during Friday night. Lacking. So yeah, we're about to dive into it too. So now I'm actually gonna look at this 2025 NFL rule changes, and that's gonna be including touchback moved to the 35-yard line alongside with the aligned regular season and postseason overtime, and allowing replays to overturn clear penalty errors. And some of them wants to deal with banning the goddamn tush push because as well as design return plays, point differential tiebreakers, tampering periods, and so on. Clear and obvious evidence, as well as the replay assist. So we gotta break parts of each of them. So I don't want to go way too far and actually do something else than that. Okay, so now we're actually gonna dive into this thingy. First thing first, we gotta break down each of the key changes. So now we're actually gonna look at this. It's called the kickoff rules, the dynamic kickoff, which technically did exist from last year, but they're gonna make it permanent now, as well as the touchback spot, which is moving to the 35-yard line, because last year was 30-yard line. They're trying to aim this because of kick returns, but like now you're just gonna do like 65 yards to get to the end zone without missing a damn thingy. For me, this is absolutely nonsense. Like, you should just have the touchback return at the 25-yard line, just like college football. But the dynamic kickoff, which is started in the XFL, adapted here, currently in the UFL. But here's the problem. Now they're gonna do dynamic, like the thing about dynamic kickoff, and I always been saying this out loud. Sorry to bump on the mic. Mhm. So right now with dynamic kickoff, right now, they're about to put dynamic kickoff for college football alongside with high school football. So now both college and high school football will have to adapt with the new kickoff. And I'm pretty sure I might gonna see the new kickoff in the NCAA, that they're actually gonna do a dynamic kickoff. So be prepared for this year's college football season. You're gonna see the new kickoff, which is right there for the 2025 collegiate football level, as well as the high school level football, that they're gonna do dynamic kickoff. Overall, the kickoff, do they really just hate football in the NFL? Because now you're gonna do dynamic kickoff in college football as well as high school football. Well, most likely college football, because the NCAA is absolutely doing that. Thanks to the Big Ten and the SEC, this is gonna be permanent for college football to do dynamic kickoff, as well as while the ACC, Big 12, Mountain West, and the Americans do not like it. Yeah, the new kickoff rule might be fucking trash. Sorry about that, that was my damn alarm. Okay, so the next segment on the NFL rule is the overtime rules. And yeah, this is gonna be bitching and moaning, because remember with Buffalo a few years ago? Yeah, I remember that overtime rule. That during that Bills Chiefs game, yeah, when Buffalo just give up that many yards, 13 seconds left, force it overtime and they lose. Yeah, I remember that one. So basically, now they actually wanted to change it now. Mhm. I gotta Yeah, I think my mic cut off, so. Yeah, I think my mic cut off. I forgot to notice my mic did get cut off. Hold up, before. Yeah, my mic did got cut off. My bad. So back to the overtime rules actually. So regular season overtime rule. Both teams will receive possession in overtime, mirroring the postseason format, but remains 10 minutes. My thoughts about that is basically one. I like how both teams are actually gonna do the overtime. Had you have the possession during overtime, but here's the problem. Well, my proposal for that overtime rule is basically this: when both teams have the possession of the ball, make it like a 5 minute period. Cut it in half, and yet whoever scores the most amount of points will definitely win the game. That's when I'm actually gonna be doing that one. So yeah, that's my thingy. So the postseason overtime is the current postseason overtime rule where both teams receive a possession regardless the first possession outcome remain in place. So nothing has changed during that one. I was supposed to say this, but my mic just cut off. I don't know why. Okay, so now we're actually gonna do to to the replay assist rule now in the NFL. So now we're actually looking at the replay assist. So now we're gonna do this. First off, we're gonna have the extended replay call. So now the replay assistant system will be expanded to help on-field officials with specific objects aspect. Okay, never mind. I'm butchering all of it. Let's actually break into the system because I'm actually running out of words real quick. My brain just like having a little crash out. So the replay assist will be expanded to help on-field officials with specific objective aspect of plays, including those with flags or intentional grounding, roughing the passer, and hitting the runner out of bounds. So other than that, yeah, all these penalties that literally should not be, with auto correction to all of that. So technically, it's related to yeah, the expanded replays are basically used for the penalties. Actually, that's what I meant to say that, but I butchered it too much. I always butchered way too many times. It probably gets so annoying that I don't know what the hell am I actually be doing. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy, 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 oh boy. I know it's early in the morning, I just need to get a load of drink. Get a load of drink actually. Go to the vending machine and get a Starbucks. I'm dead serious. I think this makes sense. Okay, another one that's gonna be doing with the replay assist is literally clear and obvious evidence. So the replay assist will only be used when oh my god, I fucking butchered again. My bad with the butchering system, right? Mm-mm. So now the clear and obvious evidence is basically here's this. The replay assist will only be used when there is a clear and obvious video evidence and will not be used to overturn missed calls. So now, instead of using the Ching people or the chain gang, now we're gonna actually have some Hawkeye Skycam to measure out something like a first down. Remember that one. I'm talking about Pacific play from the postseason, which is the AFC Championship game when the Bills should have got the first down against the Chiefs, but ref ball just literally failed that one. So the Hawkeye Skycam is into the rescue with that one. But the other thing about expanded replay, NFL like overall with the replay system. So my thoughts about the replay assist. Yeah, penalties would definitely be, including flags to help specifically objective plays. So basically what my proposal is for that one, get a get a sky judge for all the penalties to look at an objective aspect of the plays, specific ones actually to help the official on-field officials while it's actually been expanded. And also, I like the Skycam Hawkeye, so you can actually spot the ball whenever you need it to use it instead of just having a chain game. So yeah, the NFL is actually evolving to the first 21st century. So this is very advanced and very big on that one. Just need a sky judge so they can actually make the call while helping the officials. So now we're in another segment for other changes for this year's NFL season. Yes, we're gonna break some segments right there. It's gonna be the touch push, the design return players, as well as the point differential tiebreakers and tampering. So that's basic, as well as the proposed something for a playoff format as well. But yeah, I might dive into those just a little bit. Okay, so now we're actually gonna dive into these, okay, other rule changes in the NFL right now is basically something like, the tush push. Everyone's least favorite plays off of last year, the tush push. So, a proposed ban by the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons to ban the play because of player safety. They will have to vote, but it got postponed until May. My perspective about that, yes, this could be. It's supposed like my ideas about that is basically yes, it's proposed for player safety. Sorry about bumping the mic again, but again, I don't see any significant injuries during that play. But like, if they want to ban it, they want to ban it. But the only way to stop it is to be good. Literally be good. That's the only way to ban the tush push. Is to be good. I know I like banning it, but we have to be good at something. So other than the tush push, we have to go to the designated return players. So teams can designate 2 players in return from injured roster at the roster deduction to 53 players, and a playoff team now has 2 extra designated to return spot, increasingly to the maximum of 10. So basically, up to 10 players can have 2 extra designated return spots. Happens a lot when it comes to football because you're gonna have all these people getting injured before the full season. It really makes sense about this one. No argument there. Point differential tiebreaker. Point differential will be inserted as a third tiebreaker for awarding contracts. Oh yeah, something about the playoffs right there. No argument about that. And tampering periods, our team are now allowed to have a Zoom meeting and set up visits with prospective unrestricted free agency during the off-season legal tampering period. So yeah, when I'm actually gonna talk about this one, so tampering periods. So basically, with this argument right here for the tampering periods, about my thoughts about that one is basically try to have a Zoom meeting like they say like 5 up to 5 players before the actual free agency meeting. So it's technically up to 5 players. I have no other options about that one. Okay, other proposed rule changes that's gonna be coming in the NFL. It will be, hold up, I have to find the other changes proposal. I might have to find some other change proposal actually. I'm trying to find it. It's just like, how am I gonna find it? Okay, I might actually need to find it. I'm trying to find it actually. I'm trying to find the other rule changes. Where the hell am I gonna find it? Okay, I'm still finding it. It's just like just give me a break. I'm actually gonna have an operation. No. Oh yeah, other proposals. I'm trying to find that other proposal. Scroll. Let's go to the operation again. Oh yeah, other ones right here. Here's this other here's this other rule change right here. I actually found it. So the other rule changes in the NFL that I actually looked at it is playoff seeding. The current playoff seeding. So the current playoff seeding is like 1 to 4, which is all division winners. The 5 to 7 is actually wildcard spots. So what they wanted to change it is similarity to the NBA with the whole playoff seeding based on wins instead of based on better records instead of having division winners. My thoughts about that, like, but are you seriously gonna ruin tradition? Like, who's gonna win in a god awful division? Like, who's gonna win that awful division and not and they had to go against a wildcard spot? Like, are you seriously trying to get rid of a horrible division? Because you need to have tradition ready. So my thoughts about it. I have to say this again. So my thoughts about that, about changing the playoff seeding based on better records instead of division winners, it kind of looks stupid. Like, who the hell is gonna win that division? Because this isn't the NBA. Like, I don't know what the hell you're thinking about this one, but like, just keep the current playoff format. I don't necessarily even care about that one. So that's my argument right there. So yeah, that's basically it. In other related news we're gonna talk about is the NFL having 18 game regular season. Yes, a possibility for expansion of 18 games. Okay, so basically during during the 2020 CBA for the NFL, they actually changed it to 17 games alongside adding the seventh seed. So is the 18 games gonna be coming soon? Not yet, but they need to get a new CBA for 2030 so they can actually add an 18 game. So my thoughts about having the 18 game season is basically this. So similarly to the 17 game, which is an interconference opponent that you faced 2 years ago based on where they're at their division from the previous year. So this year for my Rams, we actually had to go against Baltimore. So if the 18 game exists, who the hell we're going to be facing? Buffalo or Kansas City as the 18 game as the biggest possibility. But if that happens, my biggest guess will most likely be a year, a year prior to the current system. So that means that the Rams might have to face Buffalo at home. So the 18 game has to have a designated home for the other team. Since the 17 game is the AFC, the 18th game had to be for the NFC. So yeah, now we gotta have some team that's gonna be making the playoffs at 9-9 overall. And yeah, there's been an ongoing discussion with the NFLPA as well, potentially impacting player health and the schedule. The other thing I wanted to add on to the 18 game is the preseason. Like back then when they had 14 games, 6 preseason. Now when they added 16 games, oh wait, then when they added 16 games, it's now 4 preseason. 4 years ago, when they added the 17 game, it'll become 3 preseason games. And now, around 2031, earliest I could think of, unless it's 2030 or 2029, you're gonna have two preseason games. Like, are they trying to get rid of preseason? Like, your starters are not gonna be playing that much in the preseason. You're just gonna have all your bench players. These are all bench players, and you're thinking that, oh, let's get rid of the preseason. It thought it's a good idea, but in reality, you're just making a huge mess. What about player safety? That's a major concern about the 18th season game. So yeah, there's nothing else I could think of. Oh, earliest is 2027. Never mind. So another big news is the fact that the NFL is also going to expand to Abu Dhabi in the UAE, also Dubai. You really, I don't know where they're gonna put this. Okay, they're also gonna talk about. Okay, so the other news is about the NFL absolutely gonna have hosting a regular season game in the UAE, specifically in Dubai or Abu Dhabi, as part of their global expansion efforts. And the three teams that actually has it is my Rams, the 49ers, and the Washington Commanders, gaining international marketing rights in that country itself, in the region itself. So the NFL is actually, my thing about the NFL is the global expansion, is the actively seeking to expand international presence that identify UAE as a potential market of hosting the regular season. That's what they wanted. The NFL is added the UAE to its global market for the Rams, 49ers, and the Commies, as well as Dubai and Abu Dhabi being considered a potential location for future regular season games. And the marketing rights is the Rams, 49ers, Commies had the ability to market their clubs in the UAE, potentially to increase fan engagement and commercial opportunities. So basically, they want more fans in that region. And the Global Market Program allows to explore commercial opportunities, organize events, and develop NFL flag programs in the international market. So yeah, this is gonna be part of the international series, and yeah, Abu Dhabi can also be used for the preseason as well, since the NBA already does that one. So now the here's the thing about the UAE. The fan interest is strong in American football compared to the NBA. So yeah, they're actually doing something about that one as well. So my other thing about the NFL global marketing, who the hell is gonna claim the Philippines soon? I know the Rams out here is just claiming Asia, since they're the only team in the league that has Asian market values, such as China, Japan, and Korea. Now the Philippines is left in the dust because who the hell is gonna claim that place? Maybe the Rams actually. Okay, and last but not least for the NFL, before we're gonna transition to the NBA, is basically the Christmas games. This year's NFL Christmas games, yes, because half of the half of the country is, well, nearly all of the country is, well, now we're gonna go to the Christmas games. Nearly all the countries, I mean, now we're gonna go to the Christmas game. Nearly all the audience across the country is now gonna watch NFL games on Christmas now. Since the NBA's rating is plummeting so hard that it's literally just going down the drain and the toilet. So basically the NBA is actually dying because of horrible product that they're actually been giving us in the past few years with too many chucking threes, lack of defense, no superstars, and became more politically democratic, meaning that they're becoming even more liberal when it comes to politics. In other news with the NFL Christmas, because this year's NFL Christmas is basically 3 games now. 2 on Netflix, and the night game is on Amazon. They're all on streaming services now. So yeah, you gotta bear with it with streaming services now. 2 on Netflix and 1 on Amazon. You gotta pay all those subscriptions just to watch the damn game. Which sucks, because you're no longer gonna watch it in a local bar. Those local bars that you're gonna see, they need some subscription to order to watch the damn game. Because other than that, you're gonna have the NBA games, which is all on ESPN, and nobody wants to watch it. Nobody's watching those crappy games anymore because all they do is chucking threes. Yeah, because the war on Christmas is basically the NFL reigns now. My thing is, what about the off topic about the Christmas game? What about the NHL? Should they have a Christmas game? I was thinking about having the NHL having a Christmas game. But instead they have their own, they have their own thing. But I was thinking if they actually have an NHL Christmas game. But no, they do not have it. So yes. Now, what sucks about the NHL is the fact that since 1971, this is a little off topic, or should the NHL have a Christmas game? No, they do not have a Christmas game since 1971, and they will not schedule any regular season game on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. Unless it's going to be on December 26th, which is going to be on a Saturday. Instead, they have the Winter Classic, which could be in the New Year's. But if I'm the NHL, I would definitely have their games be played on Christmas. I don't know if it's cheap cash grab, because the main issue with the NHL is their biggest identity is the salary cap. They need to fix the salary cap in that league. Okay, so now we're actually gonna move on to this topic. It's basically Ja Morant's gun gesture. So if y'all don't know what Ja Morant did against the Warriors and the Miami Heat, is basically he's doing the gun gesture. I know I could do it, but I don't want to do it anyway because I'm not gonna get banned on this site. So in related news, it's basically his literally a celebration, and I feel like I went to the wrong site that actually lags a lot. So let's go to a one that doesn't necessarily lag. So yeah, let's go to get these ads off. Oh yeah, one more thing about the NFL. I actually forgot something about the NFL too. Now before we actually go hop on the Ja Morant thingy, I absolutely forgot about this one thing. The taunting penalties. I forgot the taunting penalties. So before we actually gonna go to the Ja Morant situation, I just need to add one more thing for the NFL. Is basically the taunting penalties. Oh God! Remember 4 years ago with taunting penalties? You can't point at other people because the childrens are now watching it. Even worse with with the tauntings, sexual celebration. Can't do something sexual, including humping the field to fertilize it to make it pregnant. That's one thing. And the other thing, they can't have finger guns. They're shooting at the crowd. There are children watching it too. As well as, you know, wiping your nose. It's considered a gang sign. Seriously. My thoughts about the taunting rules. Seriously, you get taunting penalty for wiping your nose and what's it, gang sign? Like you're actually wiping your nose. When you have a snot, you just wipe your nose. Like this example. Oh no! 15-yard penalty, automatic first down. I just wiped my nose. It's because, you know, it's considered a gang sign. As well as sexual acts. I was like, yeah, sexual acts. I don't know. This isn't porn. This isn't some softcore pornography onto the field by air humping the fucking field itself. Thanks to the Lions, thanks to Jamison Williams' idiocy for doing that shit. Yeah, they also flag you for twerking. Ain't no one who wants to see you twerk, unless it's a woman. But anyway, I don't have no argument else with that thing. Now, can we actually hop on to Ja Morant? So wild, actually. I mean, for the Western Conference, only two teams actually clinch a playoff spot, and that's Oklahoma and Houston. I mean, for my Lakers, we're sitting at number 3 because we beat the Pelicans yesterday. The Nuggets is at 4. They lost to the Warriors. The Warriors are sitting at 5, and the Timberwolves are sitting at 6 currently. Who else is gonna fight for 6? The Clippers and Grizzlies. Right now they're 7 and 8. The 9 and 10 is basically the playing spots. That's with Dallas and Sacramento. Phoenix is first team out. Then Portland and San Antonio still up there. But however, the Jazz and the Pelicans, they are both eliminated. So my thing is that my Lakers are gonna head to 3rd. If not, they might end up going to 5th if they lose some games. But I'm pretty sure the 3 seed is the biggest possibility that they actually do need it. Unless the Nuggets would take over to make it that one. So three-way race for the number 3 seed. And we got a three-way race for the number 6 seed. The Western Conference is actually wild and actually stacked with that one as well. However, Eastern Conference, nearly all of these everyone nearly from 11, the Raptors, the Nets, the Sixers, the Hornets, and the Wizards, they all got eliminated. Nearly all of these are becoming more. All these teams are now clinched. The teams that actually clinch a playoff spot: the Cavs, the Celtics, the Knicks, the Pacers, the Bucks, and the Pistons. They already clinched a playoff spot. 7, 8, 9, and 10. They had to sort them out for the play-in spots. All of them. So the Eastern Conference is actually it's already set up. It's now up for seeding in the Eastern Conference. Go back to the Western Conference. There's still spots available because the Western Conference is loaded as fuck. And now there's some unrelated news about this one. So first, I want to talk about I wanted to find this tweet real quick. Hold up, I'm about to find this tweet real quick. I would just find it immediately. Where the hell am I gonna find this damn tweet? Okay, so. Oh wait, so I actually found this tweet that I wanted to talk about, so we're gonna go straight to the unrelated news, also known as the miscellaneous. So I wanted to go to the unrelated news, which is the miscellaneous thingy. Should the NFL have a G League? A minor league, technically a minor league. So the thing is, the unrelated news, should the NFL have a minor league? Like, since the NBA has a minor league, which is the G League, and the MLB has a minor league, which is the minor league baseball, and the NHL has a minor league, which is the AHL, as well as the EHL. So, should the NFL actually has a minor league? The answer is, I'm not sure, because they have a spring league with Professional Spring League, which is the UFL that's been going on right now. If anyone knows what the UFL is, it's basically a league that combines with both the USFL and the XFL. They combined into one since last year, so I'm actually looking up their standings real quick. So if I'm actually looking at the UFL standings, which thought this could be the minor league, but no, this is a major league, so I don't think the NFL is gonna do a minor league actually. So right now, I'm actually looking at the UFL standings. If anyone's watching it, I mean, I sometimes watch it. Is the DC Defenders? They're leading in the XFL conference. The Renegade only has one win. The Battlehawks have one win, and the Brambos are 0-1. In the USFL conference, the Stallions, the reigning champion Stallions, is 1-1. The Michigan Panthers is 1-1. Houston Roughnecks 1-1, 0-1, and the Memphis Showboats is 0-2 right now. So yeah, that's the current standing. It's all we're on week 2. We're on week 2 actually, and DC is actually doing something. Actually, they're actually leading actually. So that's interesting to look at. And another unrelated news is the NBA Hall of Fame. So the other unrelated news to this video is basically, well, on this stream, is basically the NBA Hall of Fame. This one's going to be criticized a lot because they allow a first official to be in the Hall of Fame, which is Daniel Crawford, I think. Daniel Crawford. It could have been funny if they put Joey Crawford in the goddamn Hall of Fame. And related to the Hall of Fame, you know who else is in the Hall of Fame? Dwight Howard and Carmelo Anthony. Since they're no longer playing in the league, so they are definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame. And my related news about that Hall of Fame thingy, just put Joey Crawford there. All for the memes. All for the memes so you could piss off more fans than they already are. But regardless, I think this is going to be the end of the stream. I know we're over an hour, but I don't necessarily care. But yeah, I'll make sure I'm actually going to be streaming on Friday night instead of just doing this on a Sunday, because I missed out the opportunity. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.